It is one of my favorite times of year. It is the Sephora spring bonus time, and if you haven't ever joined in on the fun, now's the time to do so. First step, if you're not a beauty insider, sign up to become a beauty insider. Totally worth it. The dates for you as a beauty insider to get into the spring bonus event are April 20th. It starts on the 20th and runs for about 3 days. If you're a Rouge member to Sephora like myself, you get in a little bit before that. April 13th is the first day that starts. And this is a great time to get all the products that you love, just stock up on them so you're set for the year. A lot of them are included in this spring bonus event. And if you want to try something new, this is also a great time to try something new. So this tutorial that I filmed for you is a day to evening look. This is the evening look. I used all products that you can find at Sephora, so you can see some of my tried and true favorites that I've used for years and years, along with some new products that I included in there as well. So a lot of times in my life, I will just do kind of simple or minimal makeup in the day, and then if something comes up later, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to wash my whole face off and start over. So in thinking if there's any of you that have this similar dilemma, I wanted to show you how to just easily and quickly build on a borderline simple, it's all relative, daytime look that would be good for work or just running around errands, whatever your daytime looks like, and then how to add on it to kind of glam it up a little bit more for evening. So it's simple. Like I said, a lot of these products have been tried and true favorites for me for a long time. So you can find links to all of these on the blog post where this video will live. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find a link to that right below this video in the description box. And I do hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you like this kind of transitional tutorial, and I'll do more of them if you like it. I always start with the same 3 products in the morning. First is the vitamin C serum I use. Next is my face cream. This is the Fresh Lotus Youth Preserve with Super 7 Complex. And then finally, I will use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. No matter what I'm doing, these 3 products are always on my skin. So moving on to eyes, I'll be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion, the original formula. This is a great eyeshadow primer. Man, it's intense. Your eyeshadow will not budge with this stuff. For eyeshadow, I'm using the new Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. This is such a beautiful palette, and it smells so good. I'm just choosing matte shades for this easy daytime look. We'll just be doing 2 of them, but you can see those colors are so beautiful. There's gonna be so many options. So for the daytime look, I'm doing Strip Poker all over my lid and then Cashmere Bunny just in the crease. Then to soften up a bit of the eyeshadow, I'm picking up the lightest shade from the palette called Heaven to put that on my brow bone and soften the crease area. For simple eyeliner, I'm using a Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This is shade Cocoa. What I love about this liner is you just have to twist it up. No sharpener needed. So this is a really soft shade. I'll put this just on my upper lash line and then use a smudge brush to smudge it out. For mascara, I'm using one of my favorite combos lately, Benefit's Roller Lash and then Too Faced Better Than Sex. Start with Roller Lash and then finish with the Better Than Sex. This gives me the curl and the length, and this gives me serious definition, so I've been loving this combo. Moving on to foundation, I'm using Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. My shade here is 150. And the brush I'm using is the Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush. The number is 56. So I'll pump a little bit of this foundation onto the back of my hand and then pick it up with the brush and blend it in. For a little concealer, I'm picking up the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. My shade here is Fair Warm. So I'll just put a couple dots under my eyes here and then cover some blemishes. And I have a few dark spots over here. Using the same brush that I use for foundation, I'll just kind of lighten this area up with that concealer and then cover the blemishes, and I'll use a different brush for under my eyes. This is the Sephora Pro Concealer Brush. The number is 71. I like that I can get it right in here where I get really dark and then softly blend it out. Moving on to eyebrows, I'm using two products by Anastasia. These are the Brow Powder Duo and the Brow Wiz, both in taupe. I start with the powder and then finish with the pencil. So finishing up the eye area, I'm picking up Cashmere Bunny, which was the same shade I used in the crease, using the same smudge brush I use for eyeliner, and just putting a little bit of depth right on my lower lash line. I don't want anything too strong. This is just easy for daytime, and I know I'm gonna build on it for later. So I'll just glide this under here just to create a slight shadow. Then just a little bit of Roller Lash Mascara. For blush, I'm using a NARS liquid blush. The shade is Orgasm. This is a beautiful pink shade, really easy to wear. And all I'm doing is dotting it in, and then I pick a clean finger, which in this case will be my ring finger, to kind of soften out the circle where I applied the blush. And this does settle into the skin nicely. It fades a bit, so if you feel like it looks a little strong right when you put it on, just give it 10 minutes. And then you'll see like, oh, okay, that's settled into the skin a little bit. It looks a little bit softer. Then to finish this look, I'm using the Dior Lip Glow. I love these things. This is a new color for me. This is shade 7 in Raspberry. I had the original pink and then got the coral a couple years ago and love them. So I'm excited to use this raspberry shade. This is also a very pretty pink, a little bit stronger than the original pink glow. So this is where I'm gonna leave it for just an easy daytime look. It feels fresh and bright and clean. I didn't use a bunch of products, just a couple of them, but this is also really easy to build on if you have something going on later in the day and you don't want to do your full face of makeup at the beginning of the day. So I will show you how to do that next. So now I'll build on top of this daytime look to show you how to easily add just a few more strategic things to make it look a bit more glam if you've got something going on later in the evening. First step is to dab the lip off a little bit. That lip glow I put on is so hydrating, so it feels good. I'm not gonna rub it off because I still want some of the hydration on my lips, but I just wanna take some of the color off so it doesn't affect the next lip color I'm gonna put on. So I'm just using a paper towel to dab that off. This next step is really important if you're adding more eyeshadow, especially darker eyeshadow, which I'll be doing. I'm putting a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on the tops of my cheekbones here, and I'm just gonna dust it on, and you will see the powder. So then if any eyeshadow falls onto the powder, I can just sweep it away, and the powder will sort of act as a barrier to get that eyeshadow from pressing into my cheekbones because I don't want a bunch of darkness right here. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm using the same Too Faced Natural Eyes palette because it's so beautiful, and I'm gonna pick some of these shimmery shades to add more depth to the eye area. So I'm picking Silk Teddy to put all over my lid, and then Chocolate Martini to put in the crease area and bring that down under my eye a little bit as well, just to deepen and darken everything up for a more evening eye. Staying with the chocolate brown theme, I have the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Mad Max Brown. And this is a liquid liner, really easy to use, one of my favorites. And I'm just going to press this along my upper lash line for a little bit more depth at the base of my lashes. I really try to avoid adding mascara on my lashes after I've already put mascara on. It can lead to a lot of clumps. So compensating with a little bit more eyeliner will give you some depth and darkness without clumps of adding extra mascara. Then with an Urban Decay eyeliner, this shade is Demolition. I'm going to go in from the bottom and fill in any holes that you could see through my lash line with this color. This is a great way to make your lash line look thicker. So the only area that I will add more mascara to is my lower lashes. I just put one swipe on them earlier, so I feel like I won't get too many clumps, adding a little bit of extra, so I'm using Benefit's Roller Lash. So now I'll swipe the powder off the tops of my cheeks because I'm finished with the eye area. I'm amping up the brows a little bit with Benefit's Gimme Brow. This is the shade 1. It is a fiber brow volumizing product. It's great for people like me that have basically no eyebrows, or for those of you that actually have eyebrows. This helps keep them in place and adds, like I said, a little bit more thickness. So I'm adding a little bit of warmth to my face using this Tarte palette. This is the Hamptons Weekender. This has a bronzer shade, kind of a, to me it's more bronzer. It is a contour palette, but it's a nice warm color. Usually contours are a bit cooler, but it has a contour, blush, and highlight, but I'm sort of looking at the contour shade as a bit of a bronzer, just to add, like I said, some more warmth, a little bit more definition to different parts of my face, because earlier I had just used blush. So I'm putting a little bit of that on the outer corners, and then we'll add a pop more of blush and a little bit of highlight as well. A final step before lipstick is spraying a bit of this Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This is like a setting spray. If you have a setting spray you love, you could use that as well. But this sort of blends everything together. Since we've just added makeup on top of pre-existing makeup, I find that this helps kind of settle everything in. It'll help hold it in place, but also just make sure all the powders are mixing together as well. So just a couple sprays of this. And then finally I had to choose one of my all-time favorite colors for this evening look. This is NARS Sex Machine. It is such a beautiful pink. So now that my evening look is finished, I'm gonna need to get my husband to take me out on a date tonight. We'll see if we can swing that. I do hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Like I said at the beginning, the Sephora Spring Bonus event is going on, so sign up to be a beauty insider. It's really easy to do so, and you just get a lot of perks, so it doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't worry about any of that. So you only get benefits as a beauty insider, and then if you're anything like me and very quickly become a Rouge member based on how much you spend at Sephora, you'll get additional perks as well. So it's worth looking into that program, and I hope you get great products during the event.